Good afternoon, dear students. Today, in the last classes, we discussed about different spectrometers, isn't it? So, what is a spectrometer? A spectrometer simply works on the principle of Beer's-Ambert's law, isn't it? If any on the sample or any mixer or any in the solution, if you pass any light signal, so what happens? The light is absorbed and some of the light is transmitted. So that absorption is proportional to concentration of the solution, and the same absorption is also be proportional to the path length of the light, isn't it? So based on this principle, we have spectrophotometers, and with this spectrometer, we have two categories. One is absorption based, and one more is emission based. In the absorption based, we know that how the sample concentrations are going to be measured. It may be single beam or double beam, or maybe IR sources we are using. Sometimes Fourier transform IR sources, Fourier transform IR spectroscopy. These are all covered, and the respective sources and detectors um also be discussed in the last classes, right? And today we'll see one more category of the spectroscopy is emission based. Emission based, right? So the previous comes under absorption based. Why it names absorption? If you electromagnetic light is passing through the solution or any sample to be analyzed, that light is absorbed in the solution. So based upon the absorptions, we are going to know that the concentration of the solution by measuring the light is transmitted. That intensity we are measuring. That intensity proportional to how much concentration is presented in the solution. But in the second case, emission-based spectroscopy. In the emission-based, that is nothing but atomic emission spectroscopy. Atomic emission spectroscopy. So in this atomic emission spectroscopy is also an analytical technique that is used for to measure the concentrations of elements in the samples. Suppose other than samples. So if the sample may be liquid form or solid form, isn't it? If they are liquid form, we can measure some single beam, double beam, and IR like this. Right? So suppose it is a solid form, materials, atoms. So how can you know the concentration of the that molecular based solutions, atom based solutions? How do you know that concentrations? That concentrations are simply measured with the help of atomic emission spectroscopy. Atomic emission spectroscopy. What is emission? You know absorption? When the light is passing through the solution, that light is absorbed. But what is emission? We are not giving any light as input here, but we are indirectly giving some flame, plasma, or any arc, isn't it? So like this, we have to give some input to the solution or any container elements in the sample. So what happens? Based upon these inputs, it accepts the uh, external energy. The molecules in the atoms, they are exciting into higher states. Exciting into higher states. So when they are exciting into higher states from low state, what happens? In the higher energy states, they are unstable. So immediately the atoms in the high energy states, they will simply come to the low energy states by releasing some photons. Releasing some photons. So once they are releasing the photons, that photons are simply measured so with the help of detectors. So based on that intensities, we can measure how much quantity of elements present in the sample, how much concentration is present in the sample. So this technique nothing but emission based, that is absorption. In the absorption, we are applying some light, but here we are not applying any light as input. We are applying some energy, external energy, that may be through flame, that may be through some arc, that may be through some burner, that may be through some plasma, some uh, magnetizations, any some coils with some magnetizations we can apply it. So that through this input process, we want to excite the atoms within the elements of the sample, so that when they are returned back, they will release some photons. That photons we are going to, with some available optical technique, we can capture that photons and measure it and record it. Based upon that analysis, we can say that how much quantity of element present in the sample and how much concentration is present in the sample. These two can be easily measured with this atomic emission spectroscopy, right? So see that the slide, observe the principle. Atomic emission spectroscopy is also an analytical technique that is used to measure the concentrations of elements in the samples. It uses quantitative measurement of the emission from excited atoms to determine analytic concentration. So not only concentrations, here we are measuring quantitative measurement. Quantitative means how much quantity of elements are present in the sample. That is the meaning of quantitative measurement. And see that there is a schematic diagram of an atomic emission spectrometer. So this is nothing but excitation source. Excitation source. The source may be, as I discussed just now, source may be flame, source may be sometimes burner, source may be sometimes plasma, sometimes arc, any external energy that is acting as a source. So with this source, we are exciting the atoms in the sample. So in between the excited atoms and source, there exists some sample to be analyzed. So to this sample, if you apply excitation source, they are exciting into, they are passing through some flame, passing through flame and excite to some levels of energy, excited atoms. So they are returned back and they are released some photons. That photons are through some lenses we have to observe, and we have to, with some wavelength selector, we have to select that photons wavelengths and selects and fall on the, that will project on the detector. So when the particular wavelength of the light that is selected and projected on the detector will convert the light into some electrical signals. So based upon that parameters, we have to estimate how much quantity and how much concentration of the quantity is present in the sample. So this is atomic emission. You can see one more diagram. Yeah, it is a flame emission. The same emission is flame. That excitation source is flame. Everything is same. So the instrumentation of flame emission spectroscopy is same as that of atomic absorption, but without the presence of a radiation source. In the case of IR spectroscopy or single beam, double beam, FTIR spectroscopy, what happens? The input is source, optical source, light is input, but here is no light we are applying. We are applying some external energy, that is through flame, arc, burner, like this. Yes. So in flame emission, the sample is atomized. This is important. In flame emission, the sample is atomized and the analyte atoms are excited to higher energy levels, all in the atomizer. See, this is a simple diagram. This is a simple diagram we are going to use in the atomic emission or flame emission spectroscopy. See, it is a sample. This is a sample is going to be given. This is a nebulizer. This is a complete nebulizer, and this is the air from compressor. From the compressor, we are applying some air, and we are supplying some sample to be analyzed to the nebulizer. So what happens in the nebulizer case? In the nebulizer, what happens? The sample is generally in the solid state. Here is a material, atoms, right? Molecules, right? That is maybe in the case of solid form, say, that is enter into the nebulizer. So with the available air or any pressure, compressed pressure, so these materials of the sample simply looks like the sample is free from high pressures, free from high pressure. Then how it looks like? It looks like the components or material in the sample looks like spray. So that is done with the help of nebulizer. Okay, nebulizer simply converts the solid of the samples into spray form, into spray form. That is the meaning of nebulizer. So once we have the spray, that is applied to the burner. The spray form of sample is applied to the burner. Then what happens? The burner will give some external energy to the that sample, so that the molecules in the sample are excited from low energy states to high energy states. Then what happens? That high energy states of the materials simply comes towards down by releasing some photons. They are collected through some monochromator. We select the required wavelength that is given to detector, so that we can convert that wavelength of light into electrical signals, or we can draw a sample graph. Sample graph. Okay, so this is what happening in the case of atom uh, atomic emission or flame emission spectroscopy. Based upon the measured electrical signals, we can say that the quantity present in the sample are constant of the sample. Okay, and um, I'm sorry. Uh, I'm sorry. I think this another diagram is not audible to you. Is not audible to you, right? See, the same diagram we are representing like this also. So sample, gases, these two are mixed, so that is given to the atomizer. So it is vaporized. That vapor is going to be given to the any flame or any burner. So this atomizer, atomizer, um, atomizer vapor atoms are excited to higher energy states through this flame, and the output of the flame is emission photons. They are collected by the optical system, detected, converted into electrical signal, that is amplified and measured or recorded. See the other diagram is a sample, is a sample. That sample is taken into atomizer. To the atomizer, we are mixing some oxygen gas. So the sample and the oxygen gas is mixed here. So what happens? It is vaporized. The vaporized solution going to give to the flame. In the place of flame, you can place any arc, any burner also, no problem. So the flame simply excite the vaporized solution, so that the molecules in the molecules in the solution, they may excite from lower to higher energy states, and they are ready to jump from higher to lower, return back by releasing some photons. That photons are collected by the monochromator. Monochromator simply selects some single wavelength that is passing through slit and collected by the detector. So the detector simply converts the particular wavelength of light into electrical signal. That electrical signal is amplified and recorded. Recorded means it is representing as a graph. The graph nothing but on the x-axis you can take wavelength, on the y-axis you can take as concentrations or quantity. So that at any particular wavelength we may get concentration as well as quantity. Or sometimes if you are not recording, you can meter it. You can display the value concentration and quantity at a time, right? So in this atomic emission or flame photo spectroscopy, we are analyzing the molecules, quantity, concentrations, right? So these about your first chapter. If you have any doubts, you can ask me, and I will give all the YouTube links to you, right? Uh, so next class we'll see the second chapter. Okay, thank you.